Hey folks, my name is CJ, known as the Music God, CJ Plain, radio host, podcaster, and friend of Mr. Tim Bloodworth. I know we lost Tim, and my heart is so sad for that. But going back through my files, I discovered a file that I didn't even realize that I still had. I had the honor in 2015 of having Tim come to my house. He sat down in the living room and recorded an interview, and he played some live music, including one of my favorite all-time songs. A song he recorded was Romeo Ridge, called Hearts on the Table. So we're going to make this short video of the interview so that you can listen to that magical time that I had, that I cherish so much, with Mr. Tim Bloodworth, as an honor, as a tribute to a friend, a father, a husband, and just a really, really great guy. We're going to miss you, brother. And today with us, I'm very honored to have, in-house, I guess. We're going to do a small little concert, some songs and talk. Somebody who's going to be new to most of you listeners, because the last time he was on my show, we were on a different network. So you guys actually probably never heard that interview. His name is Tim Bloodworth. Tim is someone who means a ton to me. He was a member of a band in Lapeer, Michigan, growing up, that I was a huge fan of, and I'm extremely honored to have him here. How are you today?
Doing great, brother. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm honored to have you here, man. I mean, it's been a long time since I got to see you, and
it's an honor to be here with you. Reunited.
Yeah. After,
at least 25 years, because that's how long I've been gone from Michigan.
I was going to say it was 1986, I think, the last time, or that was right around there, 1986, 87. I was about 15, 16 years old, so, give or take, it's been that long. Like I said, Tim was on the show before. We did a little interview. But this time, he was going up to see some family, so he stopped through, and he's got some music he's going to play for you, and we're going to talk a little bit about some other stuff. So he's going to introduce a song he's going to sing, and we're going to go from there.
Well, I got a little ditty here I wrote. Me and a couple of my friends wrote this one. Me and Jim Beam and I.W. Harper wrote this one. All right, here we go. Well, it's 8 o'clock on Friday night. My baby's sure looking fine. So we're heading on down to the honky-tonks just across that Tennessee line. When the band starts to groove, we'll all be moving and shaking it out on the floor. All I wanna do is dance with you till I can't move my feet no more. Well, I've been working on it just to have some fun. The party's on when we walk through the door. I'm gonna spend every dime in my pocket on you, baby girl, let me buy you one more. I wanna hold you tight and late into the night. Gonna kiss you like never before. I don't make a lot of money, but honey, I have a lot of fun with the money I make. Well, it don't take long and the weekend's gone. I'm back at it, come on the morn. And it's so hard to work for a boss that's a jerk, but you gotta grab the bull by the horn. I gotta make that money, cause it ain't funny when the wolf's howling at the door. I gotta pay my bills so me and baby can chill till Friday rolls around once more. Yeah, I've been working on it just to have some fun. The party's on when I walk through the door. I'm gonna spend every dime in my pocket on you, baby girl, let me buy you one more. I wanna hold you tight and late into the night. Wanna kiss you like never before. I don't make a lot of money, but honey, I have a lot of fun with the money I make. Well, I don't make a lot of money, but honey, I sure have fun with the money I make.
So something you guys may or may not know about Tim. One of the first bands he played in, he actually played with someone who is a somewhat of a rock star now, and he can kind of tell you that story of who it is.
I'm trying to remember who you're talking about. There's been a bunch, brother.
Blondo.
Oh, Jeff Bland.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We had a band called Elite back in the 80s, and for people around the home, we played places like Cano's, the old Micah Tam, and of course, all over Michigan and that, you know.
Yep.
And Blando, as everybody endearingly calls him, has moved on. He lives in Las Vegas.
Yep.
He has his own band, Blandini, plus he plays guitar for Vince Neil of Motley Crue when Vince tours solo.
Yep.
And he's also the lead guitarist for Slaughter. Since Tim Kelly died. Jeff was running sound for him,
Yep.
and he knew the songs. And when Tim got killed, he just naturally they put him in the spot.
And did a hell of a job. I was pretty impressed with that CD that they did. And
Jeff's always been great.
Yeah, and definitely not a enviable position to be in, having to replace somebody under those circumstances.
It was a tragic thing that Tim getting killed, and it's sad, but
I mean, it happens.
The band moved forward, which But Jeff, he's earned his stripes definitely, just like the rest of us. He's been around forever, and more power to him. I'm tickled to death for him.
Yeah. Tim, also the band I was talking about earlier, they were called Romeo Ridge. Romeo Ridge was, I don't want to call them a local band because they really were a lot more than that. But they were a local band at the time that I seen them. I kind of took a liking to them, I guess is one way to put it.
I would say walking 10 miles to see us was more than a liking. You liked us a lot to walk 10 miles, brother.
I was blown away for a number of reasons. One was you guys were really fun to watch. Two, between Cliff and Jeff.
Yeah. Louis.
Yeah. It was unusual to see two guys who were larger in stature.
Big boys.
Play like they played. Ferociously. I remember the night that they did Orange Blossom Special.
Yeah.
And I was blown away because I had never seen somebody, I'd seen Eddie Van Halen and people like that, but there was always like little skinny guys.
Right.
And to see somebody who was a larger guy just play his ass off, and I was like, wow, that's kind of unique and it's cool. And
Bachman Turner beat him to the punch on the big guy thing.
But still, I
see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it was somebody that was, you guys were approachable. It wasn't like seeing BTO, or it wasn't like seeing Charlie Daniels or somebody like that.
Right. Well, we were very, very approachable.
Exactly.
Fans, but that's how we built our fan base, was just by being friendly to everybody and just being ourselves. And
you guys played, hellacious shows. I seen a couple shows, and I was just blown away by what you guys could do. And
I think what really impressed a lot of people is, like you mentioned, Orange Blossom Special. We may do that song and then turn around and do something by Poison or Van Halen, ZZ Top, things like that. We mixed it up pretty good from bluegrass to hardcore country to hardcore rock and roll. Did everything.
And at the time I was 15, 16 years old, learning to play bass myself. So it was somebody local to kind of say, hey, this could be me in 10 years. I never did really become very good at playing bass, but it was someone to kind of look up to without it being, something unachievable, I guess, of saying, hey, I want to be this person or this person. I don't know. It's just silly reasons, I guess, now, all these years later, but the songs stuck with me, and the memory stuck with me. So,
the best reason to play is simply because you enjoy the music.
Yeah,
that's what it's really all about. No matter how good you are or aren't, if you love doing it, then that's what it's really all about.
Right, and that's what I said. It was. I really can't. It's hard for me to put into words what it was that kind of drew me to it. Lapeer's a small little town. Not, I wouldn't say a huge music scene. You have your select few. But it was just right place, right time, right music. Right. Kind of the intersection of me being a country kid and listening to metal and, Romeo Ridge were kind of that good combination of, I always, one memory I have, it was kind of funny. Shortly after you guys won the True Value thing, I was at a friend's house and the Country Music Awards were on. And my friend's parents said, hey, he's like, you got to come see this band. It's a bunch of long-haired country guys, and they're playing like country and rock mixed. And she didn't say the name of it, and I come running out of the room, and I was like, Romeo Ridge. And when I got to the TV, it was the Kentucky Headhunters. And I sat there, and I watched them, and I was like, eh. And she was like, what, you don't like them? I was like, I've heard it before. And she's like, what have you heard this before? And I was like, I heard Romeo Ridge do it 5 years ago. And she's like, who is Romeo Ridge? And I was like, long story. And I just walked away but it was the first thing that hit my brain when she said long-haired country boys playing country and rock. It was like, I just thought maybe that's who it was. And
right. Well, when we did that contest, of course, we started off at a local level, won that part. Then they sent us to the state finals at the Saginaw County Fair. We won that, opened for John Connolly. And then they sent us to the Southeast Regionals in Lexington, Kentucky. And one of the people that was in the contest that we beat out was John Michael Montgomery. And after I'd moved to Nashville and our recording contract was up and that, he offered me a job. But I turned a few people down back then, just didn't really want to be anybody's hired gun anymore. But when we played the Southeast Regional, you were getting back to the Kentucky Headhunters, their guitar player, he's a friend of mine on Facebook and whatnot. Yep. And I played through his Mesa Boogie amp, and I'll never forget that. They call his nickname's Worm. Yeah, is what they call him. His real name's Greg, but a heck of a guitar player and a heck of a nice guy. All of them were real nice fellas. But yeah, it was a pleasure to work with him.
Yeah, he I don't have the CD right here. He just played on another friend of mine's CD. They did one called Southern Thunder Project, and Greg played some guitar and all that on there. And it's my friend John Rimmel.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
So it's again, it's cool to have you here and kind of reminisce and different things because
absolutely,
it is what it is. And Tim is an amazing guitar player, as you can hear, and an amazing singer. So he's going to play another song, and I'm letting him pick the music. So he's just going to sing what he kind of sings. So
I'm just going to stick with my original stuff, I reckon.
All right.
My father, rest his soul, he passed away this past January 2nd. And this was a song I wrote for my dad, so I think with that, that's enough said. Strapping man at 6 feet tall, smiling at his little blonde-haired boy. I always knew he loved me, that I was his little pride and joy. And how the years have flown by, and like the sands of time, it just goes on. And it hurts so much to see him now, so old and frail and brittle are his bones. Before I go, I've just got to tell you, Dad, how much you mean, that I love you so. I just thought you should know before I go. Later on that evening, I got the call that we all fear the most. And so I raced back to his side to let him know that I'm always close. He reached out with a trembling hand and held on tight, said, son, don't let go. But I've got to get this off my chest. There is something that you need to know. Before I go, I've just got to tell you, son, how proud I am and always loved you so. I just thought you should know. Before I go, I'm just making sure you know. Before I go. There we go.
Oh, so another one.
That one's a tough one to sing for me sometimes. Forgive the mistakes, but I still get a little emotional.
I'm kind of a little bit over here myself. I don't have the best relationship with my dad, so sometimes when I hear, still hard for me to listen to the song "Leader of the Band" for some reason. I don't know why, because my dad's not dead or anything, but that song just kind of makes me think of my dad. So I have a hard time listening to that.
I had a song sent to me just a day or two ago by a fellow on Facebook called "Hey Dad," and about his father passing as well. And he was talking to his dad, after his death. Yeah. And I listened to that one, and it was like, oh, brother, you get that thing in your throat, and you can't swallow or speak,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I Love You This Much by Jimmy Wayne is another one that's really
Never
hard for
forget
me
the
to
first
listen
time
to.
I saw that video now. I'm a big old burly boy, but that one brought tears to my eyes. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah,
that's a great song. And Jimmy Wayne should be a huge star.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not.
Yeah,
I mean, he's notable, but he should be way up there.
Yeah, I think there's a laundry list of people that I love personally that aren't nearly as big as stars.
They should be.
Yeah,
right.
Jamie Lee Thurston is one that I think should be a much, much bigger star.
You know who's been promoting him, don't you?
Yeah.
Eddie Gasson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does and Eddie does my recordings and that as well, yeah.
Yeah, which is another thing we're going to kind of point out. That's one of the reasons. Kevin Fowler is another one that I just love to death. And I know Kevin kind of sticks to the Texas scene on purpose, but I just think Kevin has got that kind of cool combination of sense of humor and honky tonk that he could be a much, much bigger star if he applied himself and really tried to be. So
he may be happy doing what he's doing. You never know with folks,
and he is one of the biggest or one of the highest paid, I guess I should say, music people out of the Texas scene. So, I mean, maybe he's happy doing that, and great, more power to him. I don't knock what he does. I just think I think a lot of people would love him more if they heard him more.
Right.
So
there's a lot of artists that I like that I think should be bigger than what they are, and I think there's too many pretty boys that are huge stars because of the changing face of country music.
A lot of
to me, I still like a good country song, and I want it to sound country, and you know what I mean. There's I won't mention any names out of respect, but there's a few that when they come on the radio, I will change the channel. It's like, oh, brother, come on.
And it's part of the reason why the show is called Six Ways to Sunday now. Obviously, when I started it, for those of you that don't know, it was called Backroads Radio. That was before.
I was there.
Yeah, it was before Florida Georgia Line and Brantley Gilbert and all of these guys made everything about the back roads and dirt roads and all of that.
I do like Brantley Gilbert. He rocks.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I
like Tyler Farr. I think
it's not a knock at all. Please don't take that as a knock against them. It was just it became everything was about that. So it was kind of the show lost focus in the fact that people thought it was only going to be those type of songs, and the range of music that I play is much broader than just dirt road stuff, I guess.
Right.
A lot of Americana, a lot of red dirt music, a lot of classic stuff, bluegrass.
I love me some bluegrass.
Southern rock. I do too.
My first memory of music with my father when I was a child in diapers and got pictures to prove it from my mom and dad's pictures I've kept, And I was running around in a diaper and Daddy playing bluegrass music when he first, my first memories, he was playing bluegrass. Yeah. And then country became real popular in the early 60s and started taking off. Mm-hmm. And he switched over from bluegrass and started doing country and stayed with country. My father was very successful, really. He was signed with Stop Records, Pete Drake. Not everybody knows who Pete is, but back in the 60s, he was the go-to guy on steel guitar in Nashville. He was the man. And he had his own studio and record label and that, and he signed my dad and Paul Holder. And they were doing real good and could have probably made it to the top. But my father worked at General Motors and had a family, me and my sister and mom. And they wanted him to go on a USO tour. Oh. And he would be gone a minimum of 6 months. Wow. And he said, the guy that was telling them about it, though, said, but they have the option to keep you for a year. And they said, they keep everybody for a year. And he could not fathom leaving his family for a year and quitting his job at General Motors because Daddy was real, he was a provider and protective. And he wouldn't go do it. And so that was kind of the end of their deal there,
Yeah.
But that's how much his family meant to him,
And it's the way it should be. I mean, it takes a special, like I tell people with truck drivers, it takes a special kind of person, a special breed, to do it and love that life. Because
absolutely,
when I was with the one band, when I was with Psychotic Therapy, right here in Jackson back in '93. We did a 1-week tour opening for Pantera all through the South. And after a week, we were ready to kill each other. 5 guys in a passenger van, and it took 8 days, and we were like, we need to go home. Because it was like 8 days. We were ready. We're going home, or somebody's catching a murder case.
Well, you mentioned Blando back when we were playing together. We were doing a job up in Grayling, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And it was wintertime. We had it was like an old UPS truck or something, and it was crammed full of equipment, and we would all take turns driving this truck because the heat didn't work, and you were freezing your butt off the whole time you were driving. And me and Kenny Mead, the bass player, we decided to split the driving up, but I rode with him anyway to talk to each other and that. And I ended up laying on top of the speaker cabinets because this old van just had the one driver's seat in it, I say van, but like I said, UPS type truck.
Yeah.
And I laid on top of the equipment and fell asleep up there, and he pulled in some gas station freezing to death. And he said, hey, wake up, you're going to drive next, And I thought he was going to stay with me. What did he do? He hopped in the car with the drummer and Jeff and rode with them, and I drove the rest of the way home. We got to Flint. Yeah. My fingers were numb, my toes were numb and everything. But, I mean, that's just what we did.
Yeah.
Just for the love of the music and wanting to play and
that's
get
exactly
exposure
what it was.
to our band and everything, So, yeah, there was some old rough times. I mean, we were making such little bit of money, we could barely afford to make it from gig to gig. We would take electric skillets and sit outside the motel room. At first, we were doing it in the room, and the guy that owned the motel said, if y'all are going to cook, you're stinking up the room with your food, and other guests are going to be in there after you. He said, just set it outside the door. There's a plug right there you can plug into. So we'd buy some hamburger and some noodles and throw anything, just put food in our stomachs and go play that night. We just loved to play that much that there's a lot of sacrifice in that business.
Yeah,
a whole lot of sacrifice.
I mean, we had a decent tour as far as what we did. We were with Pantera and Crowbar, so they treated us really well. But it definitely wasn't what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be, girls, and we were 19, 20 years old, so we thought it was going to be girls and alcohol and just party, and you'd get done and then you'd load up and you'd be like, okay, we're in Knoxville and now we have to drive to Nashville, and it was just miles and miles of dark
everybody
highway.
Thinks it's all fun and games. But
yeah,
when you get out there doing it. It's not always a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it was dark and you were tired and you couldn't really stretch out that well in the van we had, and
Well, we had a sound man and a light man. We were a 4-piece band. There were 6 of us.
Yeah.
And we've slept in motel rooms that had 2 beds, a roll-away, and a couple of guys sleeping with blankets on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it took to get it done. But everybody loved doing it, so it didn't matter to us then. We were young, you know. We were in our 20s, wild and crazy, and rock and roll, you know. Rock and roll rules, and we did what we did for the love of doing it.
That's why I said it takes a special breed to love it and to keep doing it.
A little touch of insanity.
Yeah. Among other things.
Because you got to be crazy to go through some of the stuff you go through.
Among other things. So I guess one thing, I don't know if you can or not for legal reasons or whatever, but for me personally, I wanted to know if you could play the song Hearts on the Table. I mean, I don't even know if you know that song anymore.
Oh, that's Romeo Ridge's release.
Yeah.
My goodness, buddy.
I don't.
You throwing me a curveball, Larry? Give me a second to see if I can remember it. Now Jeff sang this too, you know. So
yeah,
I was just doing the acoustic parts on that and singing backup vocals. But
I didn't even know if you would knew it. I was just thought, you know what? I'll throw it out here. The most you can do is say no.
Here. This is live, folks. Bear with me, okay? Well, that sounded good. Like I said, it's live. Fix your capo, Tim. Here we go. I'll try it again. Guess I'm taking chances, gambling on your love, but with nerves of steel, I call every bluff. Now the dealing's done, so let the chips fall. It's time for a showdown, and the winner takes all. I laid my heart on the table. It's there for the breaking if I lose. I laid my heart on the table. I'm betting I've got a sure thing in you. Chances, the stakes are way too high. I put up everything I had, forever's on the line. Don't have any aces hidden up my sleeve, but I got a feeling who the winner will be. I laid my heart on the table. It's there for the breaking if I lose. I laid my heart on the table. I'm betting I've got a sure thing in you. I'm betting I've got a sure thing in you. Goodness, I almost remembered it, didn't I? It's been a few years, brother.
That's my song right there. That was why I walked 10 miles to see these guys. It was songs like that.
Well, now, in all fairness, Jeff Wallakangas sang that song on the record, and he does a much better job than I do. But
still, trust me, it was stuff like that. That's why I did what I did. So
that and Juke Joint Jumping, that was a good one. Alabama Nights, you remember that one?
Yep.
We did a lot of original music. Some of the stuff that the guys in the band wrote, some of the stuff C.J. Roberts wrote, you know, like Alabama Nights, things like that. Yeah. But we would do our cover tunes, but every night we had to throw in our originals by request because the people loved what we were doing back in the day. You know,
Damn
it was good times for all, definitely.
So Tim is from Alabama, if you don't know. So he's actually come all the way up here, partly to see family, but, we kind of convinced him to take a small detour through here. So
I'm glad I did, brother.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a huge honor, dude. You really have no idea with everything that's been going on the past week. And
well, it's an honor to me to have you remember us after all these years and invite me up here. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of wrap it up, I guess, and let these guys chill out for a minute and eventually get back on the road to where they got to go. But we're going to have them sing one more song for you, and we'll call it good for Tim Bloodworth. So
okay. Well, switch back here. This is a little something I wrote here. Called It's a Redneck Thing.
Aha.
And this is I'm gonna scoot this mic over a little bit. If y'all hear racket, it's me. It's not CJ. But this little tongue-in-cheek thing, you might get a kick out of.
Anything redneck related, we're all about that. So.
Here we go. If you're cruising Highway 99 below that Tennessee state line, cross over Sugar Creek, then hang a left. Go up on top of Hickory Ridge, that's where my cousin Larry lives. He knows how to show you a good time. He'll pass around that mason jar, pull out his old flat-top guitar, start to sing them good old country songs. In his front yard up in the shade, that simple man has got it made, and all his rowdy friends just sing along. It's a redneck thing. We love our country music with that twang. Everybody knows the party's on until the last one's out. Some folks don't understand, we're just countrymen. Dirt farmers and truck drivers, we're all hard time survivors. It's just our way of life, it's a redneck thing. We like to drink that good moonshine, and you can bet most every time that two old bulls will wind up in a fight. I recall a full moon night in June, everybody howling at the moon, blowing off some steam and having fun. When some old boy I hadn't met that night decided to see if I would fight, called me out in front of all my friends. So I turned that head all black and blue. His lips look like Mick Jagger's do. Next time he'll think before he runs his mouth. It's a redneck thing. We love our country music with that twang. Everybody knows, don't start no trouble and there won't be none. It's just a party, son. Don't want to fight no one. Dirt farmers and truck drivers, we're all hard time survivors. It's just our way of life, it's a redneck thing. So from way on top of Hickory Ridge, we invite you all to have a swig. Just our way of life, it's a redneck thing.
So there it is. 6 Ways to Sunday, Tim Bloodworth. You heard it here exclusively